Happy New Year, Seahawks social fans. Welcome back. Sorry for the delay in getting this podcast out to you people. I know you were waiting patiently. Lots to talk about this week. Marshawn Lynch makes a return.
Boom.
Wildness. It was a tough loss. There was a lot happening at the end of the game. The Seahawks played very, very well in the second half. And they came about an inch and a half shy of a W and getting a home game. But let's talk about it all. Here we go. We should, in honor of Marshawn Lynch, we should start this episode with a handshake.
Shit.
Nice. It's a nice, genuine handshake. There we go.
Carl. No.
I like it.
Have you ever been more hyped up for a football game than you were this week? Ever?
Yes.
Regular season game?
No.
I'm just going to keep asking questions. You just keep giving me one word answers.
Well, you altered it because, yes, I have been way more hyped up when we made it to the Super Bowl. That was very hyped up. But you said regular season game. So.
Do you remember how down in the dumps we were last week, Carl? Do you remember how down in the dumps the entire... I'm just going to say down in the dumps over and over and over. No, the entire Seahawks fan group, the 12s, if you will, were last week on social media.
Yeah.
Wait, not last week. Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Monday morning was very different. Monday morning was very, very different. There was rumors. There was rumors that Marshawn Lynch was making his way to Seattle.
I want to say we started those rumors. We kind of talked about it before. Like we had our podcast the second after the loss.
I think we kind of made it as a joke, though, right?
We did.
We made the joke of like, let's bring people out of retirement. Let's get the CFL team going. Let's just figure out what we're going to do because we're screwed. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, you know what? I like our chances now against the San Fran.
Put this close to your face.
It's as close to my face as I want it. Why are you getting so mad at me? I like it down. All
right. Carl, just turn off his mic. I think Monday morning I woke up and someone in the Seahawks network, thank you, whoever it was, on Seahawks Social, posted... Marshawn Lynch is rumored to be making his way to have a workout in Seattle. So one of our friends who's come on the podcast before, on the Zero Here podcast, Nick, is friends with Lynch.
Shut up.
So we're going to get him on the podcast, obviously. Stay tuned, guys. Marshawn Lynch coming up in about half an hour.
I have a feeling you're making this up right now.
No. So I texted Nick.
Nick is friends with Lynch?
Yeah, he runs like charity football camps in Ontario with him.
What?
Yeah. Sweet guy. Great guy. Both Lynch and Nick. Great guys.
I had no idea.
So I text Nick and I'm like, is this real? And he obviously knew what I was talking about. And he just replies saying, he's on a plane right now to Seattle. He's like, I was going to text you last night, but I had to like keep it hush hush. And I say, what kind of shape is he in? And his reply was, he is a little thicker than you'll remember. But he's still the most athletic human I've ever seen.
Amazing.
Yeah. Anyway,
Amazing.
A couple days later, Lynch passes a physical, does the workout. Him and Robert Turbin are signed by the Seahawks for the remainder of the season. And we are thinking we're back in business, really, because we lose Carson and Penny and Procise in a couple weeks.
We were dead in the water. Until this point in time.
Do you think...
So much that I changed my pick. Sunday night, after the loss, or after we lost Carson and Procise, and we thought, that's it, we're done, we're dead in the water, and we all picked San Fran to win the next game, and I think I picked like 36-3 or something like that.
38-6.
Yeah, pretty close to that. But halfway through the week, I switched my pick. I went Seahawks. I thought they were going to win it. And if they won, I would have won my pool. And they should have won because I had flashbacks.
Do you think Seattle brought him in at all as a publicity stunt, or do you think they genuinely were looking at him as a game changer?
I don't know if they're looking at him as a game changer. I think they're looking at trying to bring somebody in as a veteran to help Homer, because as you could see in that game, Homer led the ball, right? He was the number one.
Mm-hmm. He had 10 carries for 62 yards.
Yeah, he had a pretty good game.
He looked good.
He was looking good.
He had a bunch of catches too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had a bunch of catches or not. I don't remember that.
Yeah, Homer had 5 catches for 30 yards.
But it definitely did not diminish the fact that there was a lot of publicity behind that. Yeah. I wonder if Turbin, though, is the hidden gem in all this. He didn't play, but if you look at him online, he is a specimen. He is in shape.
Did he get 0? He didn't get any touches?
No, it was just Lynch and Homer, as far as I remember. I don't remember Turbin.
I don't remember him coming in either. I remember seeing him on the sidelines.
Yeah.
But I don't remember him coming in.
Yeah. But I think he's going to be a black horse that's going to be he's going to really do something in playoffs.
A dark horse.
Sorry. You know what I meant. I did not mean that.
That's a clip.
Oh, man.
Don't you think?
No, that was just funny.
Yeah. Very funny.
I don't know. I had a bunch of people who know I'm a very big Seahawks fan ask me what I thought of Lynch coming back, and I said, I think it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll touch the ball, but I don't think he's I don't think he's probably in good enough shape to carry the ball 20 times. I'm sure the offense has changed significantly enough that he's learning a bunch of new things in 4 days.
Yeah.
I think that would be the hardest part.
So totally.
Because apparently he kept in pretty good shape and I guess by himself. So I mean his coming, he did 16 sessions in 8 days of training right before he came to Seattle, and they say that he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, guys, keep in mind that the Seattle offensive line is the second worst offensive line in the league. So difficult to get past the line of scrimmage without being hammered. But he did have a couple of breakthrough runs where they were 12, 13, 14 yards or something like that. 2, I think. That he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
He was just getting hit behind the line of scrimmage almost every time he touched the ball, which is challenging. But I think he'll touch the ball a similar amount of times next week.
Yeah, you think so?
He got 12 carries. I think it'll be the same. I think it'll be 10 to 15 carries.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he'll be a really good short distance option and someone who just gives Homer a break.
Fuck, it's going to be tough too because the Eagles have a better run defense than the San Francisco 49ers. The thing with that, though, is I feel like Homer, you said he had 5 receptions. I feel like that's going to be an excellent option for Russell Wilson just to get rid of it quick. Mm-hmm. If he can find Homer every time, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
So they interviewed the San Fran head coach at halftime, and they asked him about Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
And his comment was we know they're running the ball when Lynch is in the game, so we're just putting 8 guys in the box. So I think they need to maybe do a little bit of play action off of Lynch this week, or find some ways to disguise what they're up to a little bit better, because it seemed like every time he was in the game,
all eyes on him, man.
They just had all 3 linebackers blitzing, and
every time
there was no gaps.
Yeah,
I guess that's gonna get
better.
Whereas
Homer has both options, right?
Right.
Where I don't know if Lynch is going to run some play action stuff or just be used as a blocker a little more often next week. I don't know.
That's all going to come, I think, with understanding the offense more and more, right?
100%.
I think they'll figure it out. They'll put him in a good position. But like you said, play action would be huge.
Yeah.
Especially,
That was
I
probably
think they just needed him to have touches in game.
Just easy touches.
Yeah, just easy touches.
Just prep him a little bit for the playoffs, right?
Get hit.
Yeah.
Don't lose the ball. And then put a smile on your face and come sit down again.
Did you see the clip of Lynch talking to Homer at I think it was at halftime or?
Yeah. No, I saw that. And that's what I was saying. That
fucking made me emotional.
Yeah.
I was almost crying.
Really?
It's so cool.
It was cool because that's just going to show Lynch knows why he's there.
Yeah.
And it's probably just these, if we're lucky, we get to see him for 5 games. And then I don't think he's coming back next year. Why would he?
It's so as a fan, like obviously we know Marshawn Lynch on the field and how phenomenal of a running back he was, how unbelievable of an athlete he was.
Mm-hmm.
But we never really got to see much of his personality. His personality was just like quiet. I'm just here so I don't get fined, like all that shit, eating Skittles. Like we never really saw him talk.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool to see that side of him because all the guys talk about how good of a teammate he was. Obviously, as fans, we don't know that.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool to have for someone to tape that video of him talking to Homer. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
So it was him talking to Homer on the sidelines, and he's just like, man, you're inspiring me. You're firing me up right now.
Jeez.
He's like, keep doing what you're doing. He's like, I just want to work off your energy or like something like that.
Is there anything better you can say to a young guy like that?
So cool,
God,
right?
no. Yeah.
One of the best running backs. Well, it was probably him and Sean Alexander as best running backs in Seahawks history.
100%.
Is there another guy?
No, not at this point in time.
No.
Well, it'd probably back in the day before Sean Alexander.
Before we were born.
Yeah, like.
But let's say arguably the best running back in Seahawks history.
Kurt Warner?
Kurt Warner's a quarterback who used to bag groceries and then play for the St. Louis Rams.
About? Doesn't he work at the car dealership down the road
back
now?
to the deli, yeah.
No. Oh, sorry. Chris Warren.
Chris Warren.
No, man, right here. And then Kurt Warner and then Marshawn Lynch. You guys are laughing.
Kurt Warner?
Kurt Warner, man.
Hold on. What did you type in?
He played from 1983 to 89.
Leading Seahawks rushers? Is that what you typed in?
Yes. Sean Alexander has 9,429 yards, and he's leading by a lot. Next place is Chris Warren with 6,700.
What?
Kurt Warner, then Marshawn Lynch.
I don't know about this. Carl.
This doesn't make any sense. How can you be a quarterback on one team and running back on the other?
It's a different guy. It's not the same person.
No, it's the same person. We all know what we're thinking right now. This is the simulation.
Yeah, skinny white kid.
There's a glitch in the simulation.
Yeah, I'm looking at a 5'11" black guy right here, guys.
Career leading rushers. Huh.
Look at that.
90 to 97. Well,
Russell Wilson is number 7.
Is he really?
All time.
That's awesome. Anyways, move on.
Sean Alexander. That's a name I haven't heard in a long ass time.
Sean Alexander was unreal. He was so fun to watch.
All right, I guess we're moving on from Sean Alexander.
Let's move on from Sean Alexander.
On to the next. Should we just skip to the end of the game? Like the Seahawks played like garbage in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Garbage.
It was
in the
kind of
first
a
half.
miracle that it was only 13-0.
I felt like Wilson. There was a point in the second half where Wilson he got hammered, and it should have been roughing the passer. He got hammered. It was almost like head-to-head contact.
Yeah, he got hit in the head.
And then I just saw a moment in his head where he's like, fuck this, I'm over this shit. And he turned it up. He started running, taking hits, and going after it. And I thought, okay, this is the TSN turning point. This is when it's going to happen. But every time we were getting down the field, score a touchdown, they would just come back marching down. We just had no chance. Our defense was doing nothing.
I know we say this every single week, but like
we stop giving up points right away?
No, we're just so beat up. Like half the team is on the IR.
Yeah.
But who did we lose again? And we lost Kendricks
again.
Kendricks tore his ACL this week.
Done for the year.
Who else?
Brown is out now.
Dwayne Brown?
No.
Dwayne Brown had surgery last week on his knee, but he's supposed to come back in 2 to 3 weeks.
The other Brown.
Jaron Brown.
Yeah. He didn't do much, but he's out now.
Diggs might come back for next week.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's what they're saying.
I just wonder how healthy, like how good how close to top speed he's going to be, kind of thing.
I don't know. But can we talk about that last play of the game? Or that last series of the game? The 7 plays that we could have had to score a touchdown?
All right. So it sounds like you're quite upset about this.
that would have won me the pool. Yeah, I'm very upset. Pass interference. Apparently, we can't call anymore. And we should have been a little bit better with the clock. And I really think we should have done a quarterback sneak.
So let's start there. Let's start right there.
That's the brilliant play.
It's 4th and 10, 4th and 8. Wilson hits, or I think it was Urshua. He's a rookie or second-year receiver who
It was his first catch in the NFL, wasn't it? Something like that?
he's now, he's getting a little bit of PT now because Brown got hurt. And I think Turner got hurt too. Great catch on the goal line.
Yeah.
Basically, like inside the 1. And the guy made a pretty good tackle because he was kind of falling backwards, but stopped him just outside the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
George Fant busted a wheel on the play.
I know.
So Wilson's like yelling at him, trying to get him up to the line of scrimmage so they can spike it. Would have been a phenomenal time. As Wilson was like waving the guy down.
And doing this, like, we're going to just down the ball.
I was sitting with Bob.
I was yelling.
Like, I was like, he should just sneak it right now.
Yes.
Because worst case scenario, you don't get in and then
You down the ball.
you spike.
Do you think he'd still have time to down it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think
Everyone's on the line.
22 seconds. They went from 40 to 22 seconds because Fant had to like run up to the up to the
he was
line
like, he was lying on the ground.
Yeah. And then they don't have a timeout and they just panic and they put the ball down. But to me, that's the play. You do the quarterback sneak. You'd lose maybe 5 to 7 seconds.
Spike it quick.
Now you're 3rd and goal.
Yeah, and you have 2 plays.
And you have 2 plays.
With 10 seconds left.
But you're 3rd and goal on the 1 yard line with, you can just pound it through with Lynch twice. Or now you do the play action.
Right.
No, it would have been 2nd down, but I think the time would have been like 10 seconds.
Yeah, you're right.
Because that was the 1st down.
Yeah.
So anyway, they don't
do that.
They
get the delay game.
They spike it, then they're trying to switch out their entire offense, right? They're trying to bring in the goal line package, which is different linemen. They're trying to get Lynch off the bench in.
Yeah.
And it just takes so long. And then they're in the huddle. They start the huddle at 11 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you see it go 5-4, and I'm like, what the fuck? And we burned our last time out on 4th down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To talk about it, getting a different plan or whatever. And they take a 5-yard penalty. So that is huge. It would have been so fun to see Lynch get in there and just have an opportunity to run the ball. Right?
That was a flashback moment right there.
Can you imagine how insanely loud that stadium would have been if Lynch scored a 2nd touchdown to win the game with 8 seconds left?
That would have been story of the year, man.
Probably, right?
For a 2nd touchdown? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To beat the best team in the NFC? Because they got number 1 seed now.
Yeah.
That they won.
Mm-hmm.
Which we wouldn't have got, which I don't get.
No, because
it was between the Packers, right? It was some kind of weird thing with them.
So we couldn't have got it because we would have had the same records as the Saints, and the Saints beat us. Oh. So they would have had the tiebreaker. But the Packers somehow had a tiebreaker over the Saints. So it would have been Green Bay, then New Orleans, then us.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
So we would have been playing Vikings.
Minnesota.
But at home.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about playoff picture in a second and whether we think we're in a better position now than if we won.
So let's go back to 3rd down.
Correct.
And pass interference with Hollister. Blatant pass interference.
I actually saw a pretty funny line on social media today. So Pete Carroll was asked about it again. Obviously, they just keep asking the same shit in the media. Asked about it again today, and his response was, I think the NFL now knows they made a mistake.
Yeah. No, he's sticking to it 100%.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they won't say they made a mistake. They clearly stated that they viewed it while the game was still going on and chose to say that it wasn't pass interference. Mm-hmm. How is that not a pass interference?
I don't know.
100% of people, whether you're a Seahawks fan or not, saw pass interference.
You know what I really don't like? I don't like how they have this NFL analyst that they bring in on plays like this. So they have the 2 commentators on the TV.
And then some guy just chirps.
And then we're going to bring in John Schmidt here from the NFL analyst rules vet.
is no longer good enough to be a ref, but now he's our analyst.
But John Schmidt comes in and he's like, oh yeah, New York is currently looking at it, and yeah, they're going to overturn this one. That was a blatant PI, and they're going to overturn it. And then like awkward silence, and the commenters are like, oh, okay. Wilson walks up to the ball, snaps it. Obviously, it doesn't get overturned. Just forgets about it. But it happens so often that they bring in this stupid analyst, and he's like, well, as you can see, he bobbled the ball here, and he stepped out of bounds, and blah, 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 and it shouldn't be a catch. And then the ref comes back on, he's like, play on the field stance.
Yeah.
They're like 50% of the time they're wrong.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is it so hard to get the consistency of pass interference right?
We need to have your ref friend on here so he can answer that.
We do.
So in real time, I understand, right?
Mm-hmm. But if you can...
Those people, those gentlemen, specimens that are playing football are so much more ridiculously athletic than these referee characters, right? What's the average age of the referees? 47?
It was older than that, I think.
51.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Those guys are geriatrics, barely trying to run up and down the field, out of breath. They're trying to watch people like Alvin Kamara run up and down the field.
Yeah.
I give them credit. They're giving it an effort. And I understand that they're going to make mistakes in real time.
Yeah.
The game is moving much faster than they are able to.
But to have the ability to look at it after the fact while the game is still on and actually review it, why are we not using that as our advantage?
There's so
sure,
many
it changes
cameras.
the outcome of the game, but that should have been changed.
Mm-hmm.
But
it
then
should have been first down and then deal with it from there. Like,
don't have
just,
replay.
That's
Then
what
don't
I'm
have
saying.
it.
Yeah, then don't have it.
Take it away.
No. Pass interference should just not exist anymore. Does it already? Doesn't exist now.
Flip a coin.
Flip a coin.
It was
Should be
clearly
like penalties in the NHL. You got the last penalty, this team gets the next one. Sorry, guys, you already got your penalty. It's now the other team's turn to have a penalty. Let's just do that. Let's just go back and forth. You get a free play here and here every second play. This is ridiculous. It's frustrating. Because then in the playoffs, all of a sudden, something happens, and in the playoffs, everything tightens up. Now, all of a sudden, everything's a penalty, and everything gets overturned, and where was this during the regular season? It's like that in every sport. All of a sudden, they decide, you know what? We're not going to swallow this whistle. We're going to actually use it for the first 2 games, and then nobody knows what's going to happen in Super Bowl.
So the idea, what people talk about all the time in refereeing sports is when the game is on the line, let the athletes play. Let someone win the game. Mm-hmm. Don't decide a game with a referee.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But this rule, this pass interference, being able to review pass interference was brought in because they fucked up last year, right?
Yep.
Because the Saints got screwed.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that when a play is bang, bang like that, and in real time, it looks somewhat close in terms of when the contact is actually happening. I understand that the ref on the field is going to let that go because there's 10 seconds left in the game, and they don't want to fuck up a game by throwing a penalty flag, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they brought the rule in for this specific reason.
Yep.
It was so obvious.
So obvious.
First of all, there was a defensive holding on that same guy as Hollister was running down the field.
Yeah.
So pick one of the two, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was so bad. Like, he didn't turn his head. Like, if he turned his head and there was still contact, sure, maybe it's borderline.
He didn't do that at all.
No.
Just boom.
I thought it was bad. But at the same time, I wasn't as upset as I would have been if this would have given us a first round bye and playoff situation would have been different.
And if I didn't have my first place pool on the line, and because of this, I came second, which I'm okay with for the season. Just putting that out there.
Home games are very fun in the playoffs, but
home games are fun, but look at our record. You know what? Stats are suggesting that we might as well just play on the road. Mm. We're 7-1 on the road, so that's better than 4-3 or 5. Is it 4-4 now? Or
we have played good teams at home.
I get that.
So 3 of our 4 losses at home are to the top 3 teams in the league.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
San Fran, Baltimore, New Orleans.
Yeah.
And what was the New Orleans score? That was a close game, right?
That game we should have won too.
Lost,
if I
right?
remember correctly.
It was a one-score game, I think.
33-27.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I can't remember the game myself like right now, but I feel like we should have or could have.
Oh, I heard another stat. the Seahawks are 11-5.
Yeah.
10 of their 11 wins were within a score.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So we're one possession games. And they said that tied an NFL record.
Really? Wow.
Mm.
So what do you think that means?
To me, it means we're not that good.
Mm-hmm.
We just have won close games.
Or better at finishing games?
Well, we're definitely not good at starting games. Let's just start there.
Oh my God. It's been so what is it? Why though?
I don't know. I don't understand what happens. It feels like we start every game a zone defense. We give up a bunch of points. Then we go into the second half and we decide to tighten up and go man on man. When we start the game like this, are these guys not in shape? Like, do they need to warm up? I don't get it. Are we just trying to see what their plays are so we know what the play is going to be in the second half? I don't get that.
Do you think it's an actual game plan, or do you think it's a game plan just built around coach's lack of confidence in secondary? Like, Bobby Wagner's one of the best linebackers in the league, but he's not super good in coverage.
Yeah.
Kendrick's really good run defender, not super good at covering tight ends out of the or running routes. The secondary's been beat up all year, right?
It's true. We're just like
Shaq Griffin.
We're limping into the playoffs. But
it was a really weird season, right? Because we were 10-2, and in the last 5 games we were 1-3, or last 4 games we were 1-3.
Yeah. Injuries don't help us, and there's been a few big injuries that really impact the actual outcome of this year. Mm-hmm. So I wonder what's going to happen in the playoffs. But I just pray and I hope, and I can still see it, that there's going to be a third game against San Fran, and that's going to be the game of the year.
It would be so big. Like, to me, this season is showing me how important offensive linemen are. Like, it's just proving it. Yeah. It would be so big to get Dwayne Brown back for if the Hawks beat the Eagles. Getting Dwayne Brown back for that next San Fran game would be unbelievable.
I think huge. Pete Carroll said that there's a chance. He said that, like, if you played this week, it'd be a miracle, but next week there's a chance.
Right.
What was he out with?
He had a minor meniscus tear or something like that. Uh-huh. So he had a really minor surgery.
So you need a knee brace and a cortisone shot.
Yeah.
And you're set.
It was a surgery though, so there was incisions.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're really small incisions.
I'm probably just waiting for the swelling to go down now. The thing too is the Eagles have a lot of injuries.
A ton, right?
A ton. Yeah. They're banged up too. Like, I don't know if Zach Ertz is going to play. Nelson Aguilar is going to play. Like, their big guys are not going to play. So that's going to be very interesting.
Can you look at what the weather's going to be like in Philly on Sunday? I'm curious. Usually this time of year it's cold there, right? Yeah. It'll be like -10.
Because Philadelphia gets pretty cold.
Yeah.
How cold? The forecast?
Even after the PI though, or the non-call PI, like, they ran a pretty good play, and that guy on D made a really good tackle on the goal line.
That was so close too.
Oh my God.
That could have gone anyway. That call of, like, if they called that touchdown, they would not have overturned it. If they didn't call a touchdown, they would have. Either way, it would have been whatever the call is. Call would have stood no matter what the call was. It was so close, but you now understand and see why they're wearing white cleats and white gloves, because when they're touching the ball or they're on the field, you can't tell the line if they've gone out of bounds, and also you can't tell if the ball went over or didn't go over, so you can't make that call.
They're always looking for that little bit of green space.
Yeah.
Right? Between the boot and the outside line.
Because they used to always wear, especially the Seahawks, would always wear green gloves and wear Seahawks gloves. Now everybody wears white because of that moment. Like, that could have easily been called a touchdown.
On the field, it didn't look like it because it looked like he went down sooner, like his butt hit earlier.
Yeah, but then in the replays, butt didn't hit sooner. It all came down to his shoulders and his elbows.
Yeah.
All Seahawks fans would love to have said that's a touchdown. But at the same time, you're also kind of like, well, maybe it's not. I don't know. And then it just seemed like the game was over. Okay, bye.
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
Nobody
Clock's run
cared.
out, yeah.
See you later. Some handshakes and moving on.
It's going to be -1 in Philadelphia.
Okay, that's not too bad. Did it say raining or no?
I think clear or cloudy a little bit.
So it'd be basically like Seattle.
Pretty close.
Amazing. Sounds like a nice climate to get Marshawn Lynch a few
Okay,
touches.
so what is it? I missed that.
-1.
-1. It will be or it is now?
No, it will be. -1, cloudy. A little bit cloudy.
Think it'll be snowing?
I don't think so.
He said it looks like it's clear.
And correct me if I'm wrong, is Philly's pretty banged up too, right?
We just fucking talked about that.
They're very banged up. Very.
Okay, yeah. I know we just talked about that. But like this, we have to get past Philly. Do you think we're screwed, or do you think we're
No, I think we play in San Fran in a week and a half.
I think Lockett and Metcalf are going to have huge games because Philly's run defense is so good. And I think we're going to have more play action with Lynch or like Homer out of the flats, stuff like that. Because just running it down their throat, I don't think is going to work.
No.
What do you think, Denny?
I think Philly is very, very poor football team. I think
we
got super lucky that everyone in their division
is terrible.
Basically only played half the year.
Yeah.
And didn't try.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dallas is really good on paper. What the fuck happened?
I don't know.
They lost to some shit teams. Like so bad. That guy get fired?
No.
He's still on the team?
You talking about Garrett?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not fired yet.
He didn't get fired?
I don't think he will.
Damn.
They have such a loyal team. Didn't Garrett play for him for like years?
I think so.
And it's like they're huge. Like it's like politics, man. They're like they'll live and die with the people that they've brought in and brought up. Like there's a huge like family connection there that they're like. I don't see them getting rid of him right away. They may give him one more, but maybe not. I don't know. Because I feel like if they were going to fire him, you fire him right then and there on Black Monday. Get rid of him because all the other top head coaches are available, like Urban Meyer and all these other people that, I don't even know if he's going to be a coach or not. But
wasn't Ron Rivera probably the best guy available?
Well, it depends. Urban Meyer is probably the best but he's never coached NFL.
It's so different, man.
But then also on top of that, he left because of health concerns. So I don't know what that was. If that was stress or if that was like heart condition. I don't know. I don't think anybody.
You see Ron Rivera signing with Washington?
Yeah.
Really?
Redskins, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wonder what's going to happen. I don't even care what happens there. Let's focus on the Seahawks and winning.
Do the Panthers have a coach?
They just fired Rivera halfway through the year.
But they don't have anyone right now, so they're looking for someone too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Panthers, I wonder what they're going to get for Newton. They're going to get rid of him. Guaranteed. 100%. They're not keeping him.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I haven't paid attention at all, so I'm
pretty sure. I want to say I'm on the sides. I would bet that Newton's gone next year.
One of my friends is a Carolina Panthers fan for some strange reason, and he seems to think he won't go.
He'll go.
I don't know. He pays attention more than me, so I'll let him do the talking about that one. Shall we discuss next week? Well, it's already fucking Thursday, so it's really in 3 days from now.
Let's discuss next week. It's a Sunday game. 1:40 on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Which is a weird time. I don't understand why there's not a night game on Sunday. Doesn't make any sense to me.
They do that. They do that often.
Why?
I don't know.
Just have like an all-day event, kind of. Maybe more people tune in. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
I think it's for East Coast.
But they have a night game on Saturday.
Yeah, because Saturday. I think it's for East Coast because
then they're creeping into 11 o'clock.
Yeah, if a game starts at 5 on the East Coast, it's 11. No, shit, that's too many hours. It's 8 or 9.
Let's say it's 3 hours.
It's 4 hours in
Newfoundland or PEI, but not in New York. They don't care about the Canadians.
Maybe they care about the fucking Newfies. I don't know.
I don't think so.
So it's 8 o'clock start?
Yeah.
So the game's over at 11:30, 12?
No.
Jeez, that's late.
Bunch
That's
of
late.
crybabies. East Coast always get their way with the hours. You see Maple Leafs come play Vancouver and it'd be like a noon game. Like, come on. Bunch of babies. This is ridiculous.
We are pretty spoiled over here, though, with sports times.
We are.
Oh, yeah.
We get prime time all the time, right?
I think only
all the
Hawaii has it better.
Well, Hawaii is like, that'd be insane, actually. A 10 o'clock game is
2
going
more
to be.
hours.
Are they
yeah.
3
They're
hours early?
3 hours,
2.
aren't they?
It's 2, I'm pretty sure.
Is it
I
2?
guess maybe there's a third.
I think
Depends
there's a
where you are.
third, depending
Depends
on where. I could be wrong. So it's going to be a 7 o'clock game?
7 a.m.? Yeah.
Just sports all day, baby.
a.m., boys. They just don't go to bed. I think that this is what happens is my prediction for next week. We'll get into this. We're going to give up the first 6 points to Philly. We're going to come back.
2 field goals or a missed extra point?
2 field goals. Then we're going to score a touchdown. Then we're going to stop playing certain people, and then we're just going to roll over Philly. And we're going to almost treat it like a bye. We're not everybody's going to play who we need to play the next week, but most people are going to play that we need to play next week, if that makes sense.
That makes no sense at all.
That makes sense. What are you talking about?
We're going to fucking rest people after we're up 7-6?
No, I said as we start rolling over them. So when we're up 35-6, don't keep marching.
You think they're going to score 35?
Well, I'm just saying, if they are, do you start marching Wilson out there still in the fourth quarter?
What's the over-under, Carl?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's too smart.
No,
He's playing the whole game. I
Yeah.
don't understand why you think they would take him out. Oh, here. 45.5.
45. There you go. It's going to be 36-7. That's my prediction. Write that down.
36-7 for Seattle.
Pardon me. 30,
Hold on.
36-9.
Keep that.
No, 36-9.
Because he thinks they're going to go up 6-0 and then somehow get a single.
Yeah, they're going to get a rouge. Nobody knows what a rouge is, do they? Do you know what a rouge is?
No idea.
What are you talking about? CFL.
CFL single point.
You can single point by kicking the ball
That's
through
right. We're not
your
talking about
own
this.
end
I'm
zone.
not interested.
You know what it is? I can't remember.
No one knows.
So
It's
it's
made
like
up.
if you miss a field goal or punt it into the end zone.
No.
Yes.
I think you can turn around and kick the ball through the end zone.
I'm explaining it to you.
No, you're not.
If you kick it through your own end zone, it's safety. If you miss a field goal, you know, in CFL, the field goal posts are at the front of the end zone.
Yeah.
So if you miss a field goal, usually the other team has someone
Catches
to
it and
catch
runs it
it
out.
and run it out.
Yeah.
If they don't run it out, you get 1 point and you get the ball on the 25.
Okay.
Or at the end of the game, if you're tied or something and you're on the 30-yard line, you can just punt it through the end zone for 1 point. But the other team would have someone at the back of the end zone trying to catch it and run it out or kick it out.
Weird.
It's wild shit. You ever seen them kick back and forth and back and forth? Hilarious. It's like fucking it's like an elementary school thing. They're just kicking back and forth. You should Google this.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's so funny.
Okay, what's your prediction? You're thinking a much closer game because they've all been close all year. So you're gonna go. I'm Denny. I'm gonna go third. I'm gonna go 24-21. Seahawks. Is that what you're gonna say?
No.
Damn it. What are you gonna say?
Carl, you go first.
I think it's going to be an ugly ass game. I think Seattle wins 23-17.
Ooh.
I think it's close.
I think it's going to be very close. 10 of the 11 wins have been close. So
This is playoffs.
Odds
This is
are.
not
different.
easy to guess that.
This is different.
Exactly. People are scared to make mistakes. So at the beginning of the game, they're so conservative. I say... Would you say 24-17?
23-17. 3 field goals, 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to say 20-17.
I like it.
20-17.
2 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
Now is Myers kicking those field goals?
Change it. 20-16. Carson Wentz sucks balls, so he's not going to throw too many touchdowns.
He's gonna get a hit right in the knees, and he's gonna be.
He has no one to throw to.
He's He doesn't even know how to throw.
Diggs is going to come back and have 2 picks. Boom.
Oh,
That'd be amazing.
that would be amazing. So who is coming back? Is Diggs coming back?
Diggs is questionable. He's not a for sure.
Not for sure.
And Brown is questionable. Well,
Brown is not. Brown's
No.
not playing.
No chance.
And then everyone else is like dunzo for the year.
See you next year.
Yeah. Clowney.
He's playing.
Yeah.
But he's still banged up too.
All right, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
Can we talk about my fantasy thing for a quick second?
Oh, yeah, you had
shit.
something to tell us.
Let's do this.
Fucking crazy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So going into Monday, me and my buddy each had one person left to play. On the Monday night game, it was the Packers versus the Vikings.
Okay.
I had 83.76 and he had 98.42. So it was 15 points difference. So I thought,
So this is 2 weeks ago.
yes, 2 weeks
who
ago.
was your
This was
player?
week 16.
Yeah.
I have Aaron Jones
Okay.
and he had Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
Aaron Jones got 26. Stephon Diggs got 11.7. I ended up losing by 0.36.
Oh my God.
Okay. It gets better. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I thought I lose. Thursday, they come out with like the updated stats or changes or whatever, right? Apparently in Cleveland against Baltimore, Kareem Hunt was I guess they call him a thrower. So he was sacked. Instead of a loss of yards on a rush, they considered him a thrower. And
Who's that?
Kareem Hunt, the running back for the Cleveland.
He had a trick play?
Trick play. I guess he was a flea flicker or something, but they went back, they looked at it, they called him a thrower. He got sacked 1 yard or whatever. I had Baltimore defense. I got 1 fucking point. And I ended up winning by 0.65.
No way.
How crazy is that?
Was that the final of your league?
That was the final of my league. And that was the only stat change of the week.
How pissed was that guy?
Pissed. Dude, I'd be fucking Dude, I was so mad when I lost by 0.35.
Could you imagine going back a few days and they're like, hey, just so you know, you actually lost.
Who found it out first?
He did. He messaged me. That was my fucking Christmas morning, I think. Christmas present. It was amazing, dude. Aaron Jones, 26 points, man. Like, fantasy football is so nuts. There's so many things that can go wrong, change. Oh,
That's insane.
I went on a stat change, man.
Oh my God. I wish they can go back and change that PI and go march everybody back out for one play.
Do you watch a lot of games that have no interest to you just because you have someone playing in fantasy?
Oh God, yeah.
I do.
I don't know.
Do you watch them?
I
Or you just check scores?
I like switch back and forth. So
switch.
like if someone's offense is on, I'll watch the series
Yeah.
and then maybe catch like something else. But a lot of jumping around.
I definitely do with my pool,
Yeah.
but mine's a pick'em pool, so it's different. But that's why I have DAZN. I just like, boom, next game, what's going on, where, and it'll be what's going on those scores. So it'll be like a very close game, and this, like, pretty sure I should, and I need to win this game. Like this last one, I needed Oakland to win, and Oakland was just like losing, coming back, and they had the last play. They scored a touchdown, and they could have kicked it to go in overtime.
Yeah, I saw that.
But they went for 2. If they went for 2, that would have won me the pool.
If they got the 2.
If they got the 2. Went for 2, lost the game, and now I needed Seahawks to win the game. But if they kicked it, went to overtime, but the games didn't mean shit to them. So they're just like, well, let's just go for 2 and call us. We don't need to win it. We don't need to lose it. It's our last game in Oakland. We're going to Vegas, boys. And did you see that Vegas stadium?
No.
It looks like Star Wars, Darth Vader, like it looks insane from the outside. I can't wait to go to a Seahawks game in Oakland.
Wow, that's actually pretty crazy.
Vegas.
In Vegas.
Very, very unique.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to a Seahawks game in Vegas.
Jeez.
It looks insane.
Apparently the new stadium has a jail.
What?
What the fuck?
It has a jail?
Yeah, for local law enforcement.
They have a drunk tank? Because everybody's going to be drunk.
On site, man. That's so good.
But it's got to be like, I don't know the inside of the stadium, but it's got to be similar to the Knights, the Vegas Knights stadium. You can probably gamble, and there's probably going to be slot machines. And
yeah, this is so crazy. Listen to this. I don't know if this is off Twitter, but So the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium will feature a small jail and courtroom to deal with unruly fans, according to local law enforcement.
What? And a courtroom?
Yeah. Sentence them right there on the spot.
That can't be right. That's got to be fake news.
Called Allegiant Stadium. How far away is it from the Strip?
It's not that far. You could see it from... Where did I stay? I want to say it was... I can't remember.
Oh, it's pretty close.
I could see it being built when I was there, but I can't remember what hotel I was in.
Isn't it right across Mandalay Bay?
I mean, it was Mandalay Bay.
Close.
It's right across the street.
It was Mandalay Bay where I was staying. That's right.
Oh, wow. That's sweet.
I think it's going to be pretty sweet.
It looks like a bunch of water slides.
What are tickets going to be?
They're going to be pricey as hell.
Really?
Why wouldn't they be? They're going to be sold out. Every game's going to be sold out.
Do you think it's going to be a fun stadium to go to, though?
I think it's going to be fun because I think a lot of it is going to be visiting fans. So if it'll be like if you're going to a Seahawks game, it's 50% or more is going to be a Seahawks fans. For sure.
Isn't that weird, though? Not having like a home base? Like there's not going to be any Vegas fans there.
There'll be a lot, but not many.
It'd be less than half.
It's going to be like the Clippers, man. It's always just the opposing
It'd be
fans.
like 50% tourists. Or more.
Well, unless they go out and they have a good year all of a sudden.
Especially, if they're shit. All right, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
Hawks fans, we love you. Looking forward to talking about a big wildcard weekend win.
Yep.
Next week.
It's going to be huge.
When are we going to do it? Sunday night or Monday?
No, I haven't got that far.
All right.
Say Monday.
Guys, it's going to be either Sunday night or Monday.
Probably Monday.
Have a good evening.
Till we meet again.